I started playing music in the church. That's primarily where I kind of cut my musical teeth, if you will. So singing and leading worship when I was a teenager, and that kind of evolved eventually into leading worship for a couple churches, and that's where the playing started. You know, I didn't really start writing songs till about 8 or 9 years ago, and that's a little new to me. When I'm writing, it's typically in response to something that has just happened recently. I don't have a really regimented writing process. I mostly just write in response to whatever I'm feeling or I've experienced that day. Generally, I just try to be really honest about where I'm at with it, or if it's someone else's story, try really hard to empathize with their position or what's going on for them and try to write through their eyes, which I think helps you grow as a person too, to gain someone else's perspective. It's a little more challenging, but I like doing that. When I think about what I want people to take away from my songs is probably encouragement, maybe a little hope, you know, to be able to relate to somebody else and feel more deeply connected and not so alone. I think the difference between performing the song and writing them is that writing is a wrestling process. You're kind of working out the most important things you want to say. So by the time the song has come to fruition and it's in its fullest form, then you can kind of rehearse your delivery of that. So by the time you're performing it, you know the story, you know where it's going to go, and you know what you want to emphasize, and you can share it as a whole thing. But writing is messy. It's a messy process. It is my debut album, which is really weird to say. That just seems so, it's kind of a dream I didn't think I would get the chance to do, so I'm excited to say that. But I decided to call it Paper Trail, which is not a title of any song, or it's not even in the lyrics. But I titled it Paper Trail because it traces back many years of songs that some of them have been sitting for a really long time. So the experiences and the stories that I'm telling didn't necessarily happen recently. They kind of are a little bit of a trip back in time. It's a kind of a collection. It's almost like reading my journal. But I really have no idea where this will go. I just hope that whoever hears it is really encouraged by it, and I want to continue to foster the relationships with other songwriters, particularly female songwriters here in Dayton. I think there are many, many more of us, and there's room for us, and so I'd love to build more relationships with them, and I think all of that connectivity will just generate more things to write about, and I'm quite sure another record is bubbling up. I'm certain of that.